Hi, in this first demo I'm going to show you how to achieve this beautiful stamped wreath effect by using the spring stamps. So I'm going to take a piece of white stamping card that I've cut to 12 centimetres by 12 centimetres, and I'm going to take a circular die that fits nicely in the middle. I'm just going to make sure that I've got it approximately in the middle. It doesn't have to be exactly in the centre. Take a pencil and draw around it very lightly to give me a nice circle to work around in the centre of the piece of card. I'm then going to secure that in my press to impress, and I'm going to take the first stamp that I want to use in the set, and I'm going to use this little sprig here, and I'm going to place it along one of the lines. If you can see, a lot of the stamps in the set are actually on a little bit of a curve, so it works perfectly for building up this sort of wreath. So I'm going to place that on the curve, close my lid to pick up the stamp, and then I'm going to ink it. And for that I'm going to use the Eyes Ink mini dye based inks because these are fast drying, and I'm going to start with the walnut, which is a darker brown colour, and I'm simply going to ink the stamp, stamp it, rotate the paper by 90 degrees, re-ink the stamp, stamp again, turn the card 90 degrees, re-ink it, and stamp, and do it a final fourth time. Now at this point you may notice that your pencil drawn circle isn't exactly in the right place. It doesn't actually matter at all, because by working to the circle it will work together. I'll show you what I mean with the next layer. So I'm going to take the same stamp again, and I'm just going to fill the gap between those two. So again, it already has the curve, so I'm filling the gap between those two stamped images. Close the lid, take the next colour, which is, this time I'm using the tea dye. This is the benefit of getting all the little colours in mini, because you've got lots of different colours to play with. So stamp that once. I'm going to rotate it round, stamp it twice, and keep going until I've filled the whole piece. So we'll do one more, we'll do number 3, and then I'll bring in a piece I've already done. Stamp that one, 3. You can see there. If I bring in a piece I've already stamped, you can see here I used a slightly smaller version of stamp on that one. But if you can see there, I've got that circle, and all I've done is rub out the original pencil circle, so it's made me the perfect little circle. Next I'm going to take one of the other dies or stamps in the set. So choose a different stamp that's got the same sort of idea of just a few little leaves. So this time I'm going to use this little sprig, and I'm going to place it in the gap between the two colours. Okay, and what I'm going to do this time, I'm going to use Vervine or Verbena, again from the mini dye inks. Ink, stamp, rotate, and again move it another 90 degrees. So I'm just turning it in the same direction each time. Ink the stamp and stamp it until we've got a full circle. You can see there I've got that. So I would then move the stamp and place that on the little gap between those two, and I will change colour again. So this time I'm going to use mint. So what I'm doing is using 2 shades of the same shade or the same colour in each demo, each layer in green. So I would again rotate that round and do that until I've got it cut 4 times. You can see there, that's one that's done. Putting my magnet in the middle, which makes it a lot easier to rotate. So now I can start to add a little bit of interest to my wreath and start to add a few little flowers if I want to. So I'm going to take this little stamp here, which looks like it has like little sort of Chinese lanterns on there. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to go back in with the walnuts as the darker shade, ink that, stamp it once, rotate the card 90 degrees, stamp it twice, and the same again. Each time I'm doing it 4 times. And you would use different stamps within the set and build it up as thick as you want, as many different layers or as many different colours or shades as you want to, just to give you a nice built up design. So I've got quite a nice design there. So what I would then do is take that one away and we'll start to add some flowers. So I'm going to take this little sort of spiky flower here, and I think we'll have that just there. And again, pick it up. This time I'm using Mer de Sud, which is sort of South Seas. Again, ink, stamp, rotate, ink, stamp, rotate, and just keep going. And I can move that stamp, or I can take another one. So I'm going to do one more layer. I think we'll add a little pink flower on just there. So again, all the time I'm looking for a little gap, and wherever there'll be one gap, there'll be a gap for each of the others. So this time I'm going to use the cerise, which is a nice bright pink. And we go there, one, rotate round, and you can keep going with this and building up different layers using different colours or more of the stamps each time until you've got something that you're happy with. There we go. So we'll leave that one at that. We'll pop our stamp back away and we'll just give our platform a little wipe from the excess ink. So there I've got a lovely little wreath built up, and all I'm going to do now is simply add a sentiment. So I'm going to go with Happy Birthday in the middle, which is from one of my sentiment sets. And what I'm going to do is, the darkest colour I've used in here is the brown, which is the walnut. So I'm going to stamp the sentiment in the same colour so that it doesn't stand out too much. So we'll give it one stamp and it's quite pale. If I ink it and stamp it again, it gets that a little bit brighter. There we go. So very simply and quickly, a very cute, sweet little birthday card done. Happy birthday with the sentiment. So I've got a little bit of the taupe linen card that we've got in the card pack, and add a little bit of glue around, and I would mat and layer that onto the brown, take the excess glue off, and then pop that onto a card front, and we're finished. And you can see here, this is the one I originally did. This is what we've just stamped. Here's a different option again that probably wants a few little more different flowers putting in, but you can really play with these and get something like a little bit different. So that's some of the stages.